What's up with you guys?
Yeah, I am here with more coin news. Let's start right away. If we look at the Bitcoin US dollar measure over a month, we can see that it is now at 99,000. For months, we've been in a range for any back tests. The longer we stay in this area, the less interesting it gets. A lot of people call this the end of crypto. This is something we've seen many times before. I think there's an exciting time called alt season at the end of every cycle when alts get better and take back control. When we look at the last two alt seasons, we can see that Bitcoin has been the leader. As the Bitcoin US dollar index goes up, Bitcoin control goes down. This is what caused the last two alt seasons, and I think this is one of the dullest and most obvious big picture looks. If we look at the previous alt seasons, we can see that Bitcoin's power is still growing. Another alt season is likely to happen when this falls while Bitcoin is going up. You can believe anything you want. Geopolitics are crazy right now and anything could happen. But if we look at data from past cycles, we can see a lot of patterns. Also, I know that from the beginning of this alt season in 2017 to the end, it was a good 1,400 days. It's been even longer, almost 1,600 days since the beginning of that alternate season until now. Keep in mind though that just because something takes a long time doesn't mean it doesn't happen. Watching Bitcoin take over is all there is to it. Its trend or monthly RSI has never been higher than it is now. We're waiting for it to find its real peak before we start the crash. The question is when it will happen. To be clear, the Bitcoin control chart is at the top and the Bitcoin US dollar price chart is at the bottom. Both are drawn every month. We can see that Bitcoin was going up during the alt season when Bitcoin lost a lot of its popularity. So as I'm leaving, the Bitcoin price chart is making new highs. If we look back at the last cycle, we'll see the same thing at the beginning of alt season. So Bitcoin is losing its power. What does Bitcoin do? More highs are being made as it goes up. Looking at Bitcoin and Bitcoin dominance today, we can see that both of these price charts are going up. And one of the most bullish things that could happen this year is for Bitcoin's power to fall while it's going up. When Bitcoin is in a range, all that's left to do is wait. In the past, Bitcoin has gone as high as 109,000, which is pretty close to that number. And just under 75K is the lowest we've been in this band in this time. We're now watching this ping pong game. Get excited if we break to the upside. We hope to keep these numbers if we go back down. If not, back tests will be done. For those reading, this is not financial advice. However, I am sure that Bitcoin will once again reach cycle lows in the near future. This is something that has always happened. Again, the fact that Bitcoin is going up while its value is going down is another alt season. In other words, that's what we need for events to rhyme. And I've said all year that Bitcoin and Bitcoin dominance are the two most important charts to look at to learn about the altcoin market. It's been dull even just looking at the XRP price chart. We haven't learned anything crazy. We didn't go that far back when we looked at the retracement numbers. It was a 618, which is the golden ratio. We didn't get as low as a 786. Even with the lights off, we can see that the price is still above the high point in 2021 and the monthly candle bodies from 2017 and 2018. The main point is to keep an eye on Bitcoin and its rise to power. If Bitcoin pulls back, XRP can go down as Bitcoin gains ground. Once Bitcoin's power really falls though, and prices start going up again, that will be alt season. If there is another full alt season, I would be surprised if XRP doesn't reach new all-time highs. That's what happened during the last two alt seasons. As shown by the exact dates on the monthly time frame, the best times for XRP to make money were the last two. Okay, that was a quick review of a lot of what I talked about in March. Now let's look at some new information. That's why we shared by Brad Garlinghouse. We just got the XRP markets report for Q1 2025. Brad did tell us some interesting things here. He then says the XRP markets report will look a little different from now on. As some of you may remember, the goal of these reports starting in 2017 was to make Ripple's XRP assets more public. Unfortunately, the SEC and others used this information against us. Our dedication to openness hasn't changed with this change. Our XRP balances will still be shown on ripple.com/XRP. We have ongoing updates about Ripple and XRP that will also be shared through current social channels instead of being put together for a single update at the end of the quarter. That was interesting, so I guess it's time to say this. Now is the time to read the most recent XRP markets news. Okay, so key points. Franklin Templeton has sent us an S1 for an XRP spot ETF in the US. We had the CME start trading XRP futures. We got Brazil to agree to an XRP-only ETF. The price we paid for Hidden Road was $1.25 billion. Remember that the XRP system should be used for all post-trade tasks, and there should be a big push to use the Ripple US dollar for cross-margining. We also know that the SEC finally dropped its appeal. This is also very interesting. In terms of XRP exchange-traded products, or ETPs, they did better than Bitcoin and Ethereum in the first quarter. As we can see, XRP-based investment products did better than their Bitcoin and Ethereum peers. They have now made a total of $214 million this year, which is just $1 million short of beating out global Ethereum funds. We talked about this before, in which case the SEC decided to lower the fine from $125 million to $50 million. We should soon find out what happens with all of that. Also down below are some very important short points that show how the rules are changing because of these pro-crypto policies. For starters, SAB 121 has been thrown out. This ended a long criticized accounting rule that kept banks from taking part in crypto storage. Next, we have new rules from the OC that confirm banks can hold crypto, as well as changes to FDIC policy. This means that traditional financial companies will be able to look into crypto. So I know this is something we all said 5 years ago, but there will be more investment goods if you don't understand that banks will hold crypto. You will be able to stake choices in the future. I'm not sure what to say. Today it's going to happen. Aside from that, we have some numbers and action on the Ripple US dollar chain. Now it's Merlin's turn to show us the best way to keep track of our crypto. Today this is how I keep track of my business. This is linked right in the description of the YouTube movie and in my link tree. That means we can go straight to the top of the link tree. Check out my videos where I talk about Merlin and this site in more depth if you'd like to see them. This is to let you know that they also released an app for Android. And I can promise you that the next time prices move in exciting ways, people will realize how important it is to have exit plans. It was also announced by Gemini that the Ripple US dollar is now live and can be traded. Also, Jack McDonald from Ripple told us that he will be giving a talk next week in Toronto at the Stablecoin Payments House. I'm excited to talk about everything Ripple US dollar and institutional stablecoin usage has to offer. This is the end of the video for today. Here is a very short clip posted by Bank XRP. So David Sachs, Trump's cyberczar, says the crackdown on crypto is over and predicts a boom in the field. We did get rid of Biden's executive order on AI, which was 100 pages of rules that weren't needed on AI. The war on crypto is over, and I think we're now trying to stop the legal capture that helps big companies. You have all of these things, and other things have been done to help the economy as well. But I do believe that these things will lead to a Trump boom in the future. Just that many of these changes take time to show up. Do click the like button and let me know what you think about this movie below. There is a link tree in the video description that takes you to all of my crypto resources. This includes charting tools, trading bots, wallets, portfolio trackers, and special deals. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.